All right, we are reviewing for the final. It's going to be 17 questions or so, and it's going to sum up what we have been covering for most of the semester. All right, 109 people who grew up in either City A or City B were surveyed to determine whether they prefer country music or blues. Both and neither were not acceptable responses. Of those who grew up in City B, 40 preferred blues and 33 preferred country music. Of those who grew up in City A, 21 preferred country. Answer parts A through D below. All right, so let's see. Of those who grew up in City B, 40 preferred. So there are 109 people who grew up in either City A or City B. So here it says 33 prefer country music in City B. That's 33. We have 109 people total, so how many are left? So that's 21. Let's get the calculator out. 21, let's do this, 109 minus 21 minus 33 minus 40 is 15. There's 15 people left over. What picture is that? It looks like it's who likes both. So we're talking about City B and country. City B and country has 33. There are 33 people in both City B and country. Seems like it's A. Used to be. How many City A residents prefer country? How many people in City A wanted country? City A wanted country. It looks like it's 21. How many respondents prefer country? Just period. People wanted country. Well, it's this 21 plus this 33. That's 54. Play this game again. In a trial of a new allergy medicine, 65 people were given the medicine and 65 people were given the placebo, which is nothing. Of those given the medicine, 40 showed improvement, that's right here, in the allergy systems. Of those given the placebo, 35 did not show improvement. 35. What group is that? So between a Venn diagram between medicine and improve, medicine and improve intersect in these 40. So 40 should be in the middle there, and it's only A where 40 is in the middle. How many people who received the placebo did not improve? Who received the placebo and did not improve? Placebo did not improve. That would be 35. How many people who received medicine improved? Received medicine improved. That's 40. Use the Venn diagram to answer the questions A through D. Let's see if we can get it even big. Okay. How many people at the conference are unemployed women with a college degree? All right. Women. All right. So we don't want employed. Unemployed. So get rid of these 8. All right. So and unemployed. So we don't want these people. Unemployed women with a college degree. These 19. How many people at the conference are employed men? So employed is this group. So all these people are unemployed. All right, so those are the currently employed people. We want men, so we do not want these women. These 17, 25. How many people at the conference are employed women without a college degree? Employed, this group. Women, this, not this group. Gotta be women. Without a college degree, no college degree. 7. How many men are at the conference? Let me go back here. How many men are we talking about? Men in this case means not women. Not them. What are we talking about? Let's see here. 10, 17, 8, and 3. 38. Use the method of your choice to determine the probability below. Randomly, either, meaning either a man or a Democrat in a group of 20 Democrat. Okay, so let's do Democrat, Republican, men, women. All right, so we're using the word or here, okay? So we've got 20 Democratic men, 30 Republican men, 60 Democratic women, and 50 Republican women. All right, so we want man or Democrat. Now, man or Democrat means we want is equal to men plus Democrats minus Democratic men. All right, so we need all the men plus all the Democrats, and then you need to subtract off the Democratic men because we're about to count them twice. How many men we're talking about? So we got 50 men. How many Democrats we got? We got 80 Democrats. Makes 130, and now we've counted a group twice, and it's this group we counted twice. So Democratic men we counted twice, so we subtract off 20. That's a beautiful 110. Now we are looking for a probability. So that's 110 out of how many people? Well, how many men we got? We got 50 men. We got 110 women. So that's 110 out of 160. That's 11 out of 16. That is the probability. So the lesson here is count all the men, all the Democrats, add those, and subtract the people who are both men and Democrats. Here, the mean is just the average. You just need to add up all the numbers. Add up the numbers, divide by the total. This is the last material that we've covered. If you do that, you'll see that you get 0.188. The median, you put them in order. Are they in order here? No, but if you wrote them in order and then took the middle two numbers. Here there's an even number, so you would have to put them in order and then take the average of the middle two numbers. You would get that. And then the mode is the number that appears the most, and in this group that number is 0.16. If every number appears once, then there is no mode, but now the mode does appear here twice at least. Here's another one actually. Absolute change and relative change. The absolute change is just the difference in the numbers. It's just new number minus the old number. So the new number is 155,000, and then it's minus 336. That's negative 181,000. And then to find the relative change, you just divide that by the old number. So then it's going to be negative 181 divided by the 336. We'll go ahead and bring the calculator out for that. And then we'll multiply by 100 and round. 181, I don't need to put the minus sign. We'll just put it at the end, over 336 is that times 100 to make it a percentage. And we're running how many decimal places to the nearest tenth? Negative 53.9%. The statement below connects two individual propositions with the word or. State the two individual propositions and, if possible, whether each is true or false. State whether the entire statement is true or false and explain why. 10 times 6 is 60, or 7 plus 7 is 14. Both of these are true, and because it's an or statement, because at least one of the statements is true in an or statement, then the whole statement is true. The first proposition is that 10 times 6 is 60. The second is that 7 plus 7 is 14. 10 times 6 is 60. That's true. 7 plus 7 is 14. That's true. And this statement is definitely going to be true because the first proposition is true and the second proposition is true. Same thing here. If 3 times 4 is 7, then 3 plus 4 is 7. So this is a statement where this statement is false, but this is true. But if we have an if-then statement and the conclusion is true, then the whole thing is true. The hypothesis is that 3 times 4 is 7. The conclusion is that 3 plus 4 is 7. The true value of the hypothesis is false. The true value of the conclusion is true. The entire thing is going to be true. The statement is true since the hypothesis is false and the conclusion is true. If the conclusion is true, the whole thing is true. Pizza House offers 4 salads, 2 kinds of pizza, and 5 different desserts. How many different 3-course meals can we order? You multiply 4 times 5 times 2. That's a beautiful 40. How much will a person pay for 3.7 pounds of bananas at a price of 59 cents per pound? So each one costs 59 cents per pound. Here, per pound means we're going to be multiplying here. 0.59 times 3.7. $2.18. So $2, and we're rounding, I guess, to 2 decimal places. $2.18, and it's in dollars. If a person paid $460 for 30 hours of work, what is the person's hourly rate, wage, dollars per hour? We'll put that in. Dollars per hour are the units. 460 over 30. We'll round to the nearest. $15.33. Put that in. $33 per hour. Right, dollars per hour. Identify the units of the following quantities. Your average speed on a walk found by dividing the distance traveled in meters by time elapsed in days. Meters per day. Meters per day. Meters per day. Determine whether the following individual events are independent or dependent. Independent means that they don't bother each other. Dependent means that they do. The next 7 births at a hospital all are boys. Well, whether you have a boy one particular birth doesn't impact whether you're going to have a boy any other particular birth. These events are independent. The big issue is what's the probability? Well, you need the probability of having a boy is 1/2. You need to do that 7 times in a row. So you need a boy and 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 a boy, right? So when we multiply fractions, you just multiply all those ones up top, and then 2 to the 7th. We'll need the calculator for this. 2 to the 7th. 2 raised to the 7th power is 128. The probability is 1 over 128. Determine whether the following events are overlapping or non-overlapping. Getting a sum of either 5, 6, or 10. Right, so we got this die again. There's 6 choices on the first die, 6 choices on the second one. There's a total of 36 choices. This whole thing's going to be out of 36. How many ways can you get a 5? So we can get a 1 and a 4, a 4 and a 1, a 2 and a 3, and a 3 and a 2, right? A 6, a 1 and a 5 and a 1, a 2 and a 4 and a 2, and a 3 and a 3. A 10, you can get a 6 and a 4 and a 6, and just a 5 and a 5. And I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 36 reduces to 1/3. These events are non-overlapping because you can't get a 5, 6, or 10 ever at the same time. Right? Those events cannot happen at the same time. Answer the following question using the appropriate counting technique, which may either be arrangements with repetition, permutations, or combinations. How many different 4-digit codes can be obtained for the digits 0 through 9? It doesn't look like we are it doesn't look like we are taking them out and not putting them back in, so you can't repeat. So this definitely looks like it's going to be arrangements with repetitions, because there are selections from the group in choices and you can repeat. And so it's definitely this one. How many possible codes? With 0 through 9, I got 10 choices here. I can repeat, so I keep having 10 choices. 10, and of course I'm going to multiply these numbers. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is a beautiful 10,000 possible codes. In the following statement, express the first number as a percentage of the second number. A certain candidate won 466 out of 570 electoral votes. We're going to put this in a calculator, multiply by 100, and round. 466 divided by 570 times 100. And we just need to round nicely. 81.8 to the nearest tenth. 81.8. In the following statement, express the first number as a percentage of the second number. 359, everything's in millions, out of 465. Let's see how that's rolling. 359 out of 465 times 100. 77.2 looks like we're rolling with. It has been a pleasure. Thanks for everything.